Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to explore those hidden forces that pretty much decide how you feel every single day. We're pulling back the curtain on the science of what's essentially your brain's own control panel, the levers that really dial in your mood and your motivation.
All right, let's just jump right in because you felt this, right? It's a universal thing. Some mornings you just spring out of bed, you're ready to take on the world, and then other days, just getting started feels like climbing Mount Everest. So what's actually going on there?
Well, it turns out we can think of our motivation like it's a control panel with two big levers. The first lever is all about what the world around us, our environment, does to us. And the second one? That's about what we can actively and consciously do for ourselves. Let's break them both down.
So let's start with that first lever on our control panel. This is the one that's really influenced by our environment. And it turns out one of the most powerful environmental factors is something most of us see every day. Good old sunshine.
Okay, so the key player here is a chemical called serotonin. You've probably heard of it. It's often called the happy chemical, and that's for a very good reason. It's this absolutely crucial neurotransmitter that helps regulate our mood, our anxiety, our feelings of just well-being. But what's really wild is where our body can actually make this stuff.
We usually think of brain chemistry as something that happens, in the brain. But this is where it gets so cool. Research has found this incredible, direct pathway. When sunlight, specifically UVB rays, hits your skin, it flips a switch on a system that can generate serotonin right there. It's happening in your skin, not even in your head.
And look, this isn't just some vague idea. It's a documented biological fact. I mean, think about what that means. Your skin isn't just a barrier protecting you from the elements. It's an active organ in your mental health, literally manufacturing mood regulators just from you being out in the sun.
And this is where it all starts to make sense, right? This biological link gives us a real scientific explanation for things like the winter blues. In fact, studies show that for a lot of people, depressive symptoms actually peak around the winter solstice. It's pretty straightforward. Less sun can literally mean a lower mood because your skin is producing less serotonin.
But here's the good news. We're not just at the mercy of the weather. So let's move over to that second lever. This is where we shift from what the environment does to us to what we can do for ourselves. This is the part we can actively control. Now, scientists call it effortful control, but for the rest of us, we just call it willpower. You know what it is. It's that ability to stay focused, to say no to that extra cookie, to push through when things get tough. And get this, developmental studies show that this one skill is a massive predictor of success in pretty much every part of life you can imagine.
Okay, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Willpower is not some fixed trait you're born with. It's not like you just get a certain amount and that's it. The science is crystal clear. Willpower is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. Simple as that.
So, if willpower is a muscle, that begs the question, how do you actually exercise it? What does a willpower workout even look like? Well, luckily for us, scientists have been studying exactly that for a while now.
And the evidence for this is it's absolutely overwhelming. Scientists did what's known as an umbrella review, which is basically a giant study of other studies. And they looked at the results from 63 different meta-analyses. 63! The conclusion was undeniable. Training your willpower works. This isn't a fringe idea, folks. This is a robust, well-established scientific fact.
So what actually works? Well, a few things consistently pop up in the research. Physical exercise and mindfulness training, those are the heavy hitters. But even small, simple things can make a real difference. We're talking about things like brain training games, or even tiny acts of self-control, like, say, trying to use your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth. It all adds up. It all builds that willpower muscle.
But here's what's really going on under the hood when you do this training. This isn't just about feeling stronger or more disciplined. No, you are literally rewiring the physical structure of your brain. It's a real physiological change.
The research points to two major brain upgrades that happen. First, your brain gets way more efficient. A task that used to feel like it took a ton of mental energy now requires less. It literally lowers the effort cost. And second, your brain actually starts to value the work more. It learns through practice to connect high effort with high reward.
So just think about what that really means. You're tackling the problem from two different angles. You're not just getting better at gritting your teeth and pushing through something hard. You're fundamentally changing your brain's entire relationship with effort. You're making difficult tasks feel both easier and more rewarding at the same time.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've looked at the environmental lever, sunshine, and the effort lever, willpower. What does all this mean for you as the person sitting in the driver's seat of your own mind?
What it means is that how you feel every day isn't some random mystery. It's a direct result of these two inputs. You can manage your environment, do things like making sure you get some morning sun, and you can actively train your mind to handle challenges better. When you understand both of these levers, you gain real, actual control over your own mood and motivation.
And that brings us right back to that control panel. The levers are right there in front of you. You can change your environment or you can train your mind. And the science says both of them work. So the only question left is, what are you going to do tomorrow? Which lever are you going to pull first?